You're watching the How to Play Rock Guitar system on the 10-week RockSTAR learning platform, the world's shortest learning curve to master everything in life that you've ever wanted to do. Here's your instructor, Blair Barnhart. Let's get started.
Now, for those of you who are very advanced already, let's go ahead and I'll give you this little riff from Rick Emmett from Triumph. This is going to be all pulls, okay? And again, this is very advanced. Don't feel like you have to master this today or even next week for that matter, but maybe sometime in the 10th week, you'll get very strong and you'll be able to pull stuff like this off. So I'm going to go to my third string, the G string, and I'm going to go to the 9th fret. So that is the 7th fret, the 4th fret, and the open G. So I'm literally pulling. I'm going to put my pick down. I'm going to take my fingers and mute out the opposing string. So I'm going to mute the B with my first finger here. So I can't accidentally hit the B string. It's going to be muted out. I'm going to take my the 4th string and my thumb, and I'm going to mute that. And now I'm just going to hammer right from the open position. I'm going to hammer right down onto that 7th fret on the G string. I'm going to do, and you can get this, I think it was on the original Triumph album, the very first one, several years ago. But I was amazed when I heard this little riff, and I used to use it to warm up for some gigs prior to going on stage. So here it is again, 7-4-0, 7-4-0. Now I'm going to move to the 9th and the 5th fret. So I'm going to really stretch out my pinky. I'm going to keep muting with my thumb and my index finger, first finger. And now I'm going to pull from the 9th fret down to the 5th fret. So quite a stretch here. So starting from the beginning, and don't bother using your metronome here, just try to do this free form. 7-4-0, 7-4-0, 7-4-0. You can tab this out in tablature on your G string, 7-4-0, 7-4-0, 7-4-0, 9-5-0, 9-5-0, 9-5-0, 9-5-0, 9-5-0. Now I move down to the D string on the 7-4-0. So there's only 3 patterns going on here. 7-4-0 on the G, 9-5-0 on the G, and 7-4-0 on the D string. So I'll try to do this one more time all together, and then I'll try to slow it down. It gets harder the slower you play. It's kind of weird that way, but let me go through this one time with you guys, and then you can play along if you're in the advanced session. Obviously, when we do the 10-week RockSTAR and the intermediate series, we'll do more leads, but this is a great exercise prior to getting into chording and pulling and all the other stuff that we're going to be doing here with the crawls. Great way to increase your finger dexterity. So from the top, 7-4-0. So I lied, we do have one more pattern. Rick takes it down to the 6th fret and I guess 3 on the D string. Now if you were to tab that out, it's hammers and pulls, but you're hammering onto the open string at that particular fret. So again, 7-4-0, 7-4-0, 7-4-0, 7-4-0, 9-5-0, 9-5-0, 9-5-0 on the G. Then we go 7-4-0, 7-4-0 on the G. Then we go 7-4-0, 7-4-0 on the D string. And then we go down to a 6-3-0, 6-3-0, and O for open. So play along with that. And let's move on to our next song. I'd like to go over the open A position with you guys. So in tablature, we're going to deal with the A5 chord. Now, if we look up here earlier, we talked about the A2 chord. It was with the open B string. Nice chord. But now we're going to do the A5. So what we're going to do is we're not going to bother playing the B string or the E string. We're simply going to play these three notes. A, open. Put our two fingers here. You can alter them either way you see fit. You could even use your first finger if you wanted to, but I would discourage that because later on you're going to want to do an A minor and you're going to want to use that index finger. So for the purpose of this, I'm using my middle finger on the 4th string D at the 2nd fret. I've got my third finger on the 3rd string G, 2nd fret. And remember last week when we did Cat Scratch Fever and the likes of that, is the same pattern that Ted was doing. Only we're just focusing on this A position here. Now, to do that in the bar position in the 6th fret, you could do the barring on the 5th fret with your first finger, and you can put your 3rd finger down here. If you wanted to, you could put your pinky there. Some people do this. But for the most part, if you just did this and you did the top 3 notes, low E first. It's the exact same chord, the A5, and if we tab that out, it would simply be the 5th fret right here on the lower string, and then it would be the 7 and the 7 right here. So maybe I'll just slide right in here and give you that here. So 5, 7, 7, X, X, X. And there you have the A5 in tablature as if you're looking at it with a bar chord. We're not concerning ourselves with these other 3 notes. This is what rock and roll is all about. 5, 7, 7. Exact same chord down here, Xing out the open E string, Xing out the B and the E string, same 3 notes in a different fretboard position. So let's review. I'll put that right there. If we do it in the open position down here, and I'm going to start to show you some of the benefits of doing it down here. We get nothing on the X, that's the low E. We get open A. And later on, we'll do the 10 different positions of the A, which you'll get a chance to go all the way up the fretboard and see all the different positions of A. And if we do it in the bar position of the 5th fret, it's going to be right here. So, why do I like doing the open A down here? Guess what happens now? If you take your ring finger and you put it at the 4th fret and you play the D string, watch this amazing magic that happens now. There is rock and roll riffing all night long right there. If you take your pinky finger and put it at the 5th fret on the D string, you get this. To do that on the bar chord position of the 5th fret, you simply do the bar like this. I'm using my pinky to go to the 9th fret and the 10th fret consecutively. So it's a lot easier to do down here in the open position. You can do this. I got a little change in my pocket going ding-a-ling-a-ling. So there you have it. The A in the open position, the A in the bar position, A5 chord. This is not a complete A major like this. This is a A5 rock and roll chord. Practice that one. I was going to say till your fingers bleed, but at least practice it for 20 or 30 minutes each day as you get to have your fingers growing, calluses getting stronger. You guys got this. I know you can do it. So, tablature, chord charts. Let's move on to part 2, and we'll go into hammers, pulls, harmonic pinches. See you real soon.
The 10-week RockSTAR system. You got this. Remember, amateurs practice till they get it right. Professionals rehearse until they can't play it wrong.